Empirical Alignment, Part 4 of 11. Fifi hesitated, and Passion shouted to her, "Fifi, submit to the warrior caste! Now is the time to submit!" In response to revered mother's command, Fifi dropped her eyes from Greybeard's gaze, quietly uttered, "So it shall be done," and then bowed low before joining the others in gathering her finest articles and handing them over to Goliath, the sentry who had accompanied and protected her on her mission. Late that night, Fifi lay fitfully awake as she gazed at the night sky in frustrated impotence. "Inanna, indeed," she whispered to herself, as though in answer to the utterance of his name. First one, then two other, and finally a fourth star shot to the ground in a pattern that appeared to shower equally to the four corners of the troops' encampment. Frightened, Fifi's curiosity overrode her fear as she slipped down from her sleeping spot among the lower branches and hurried toward the area where the nearest shooting star had fallen. As she traveled through the dark jungle, ever mindful of the hungry beast whose eyes and ears made them formidable hunters in the darkness, she realized that the shooting star she pursued had fallen to earth at the same location where she and Flint had found the great bird's massive footprints. Crouching low to remain unseen, she watched as two strange apes clad in shining silver garments that left only their hairless faces exposed used a stretcher to carry Humphrey out from the belly of the monstrously large bird that again flattened the vegetation. In Mandarin, Wang Yi Xiong chided Lin Kuang. "You need to pick up your end! I knew I should have requested Zhang Wei for this mission," she added, shaking her head. "Just get down the ramp," Li Kuang shot back. "These people are heavier than they look." "Which you should have known from our pre-mission briefing," the woman replied, shaking her head. "I thought this was your third assignment." "It is," Li Kuang replied, "but the people we found in Rizwanzoers and Aparathepu were much smaller," he said between labored breaths. "Again, which you should have known. This is nearly as large an expanse of land as we have at home in the Himalayas, though its great length and narrow makes it much less conveniently shaped. All of our expeditions have found that larger land masses and greater distance from the equator lends itself to larger, healthier Shilu Diren, which is why our tasers were set inappropriately high," Li Kuang asked, his voice dripping sarcasm. "Have you ever been attacked by one of these savages?" Wang Yi Ying asked. "Better that we use too much force than not enough. We tended their wounds and they will all be fine. Assuming we can get this one back where we found him." "We're clear of the ship. We can activate the anti-grav units now," he said. "Just in time," Wang Yi Ying replied. "I was afraid you were going to have a heart attack." "Oh, you are very funny," he said, closing the hatch of the aircraft. "I hear they are working on anti-grav that can operate within the ship," he added, slipping on his night vision goggles as darkness enfolded them. "Ready?" he asked. "Nearly. Let me put on my goggles, too. One can never be too careful among the Shiloh Diren, what with their animal strength and cunning combined with human intellect. And I will believe an anti-grav that can work inside another anti-grav field when I see it. Do you think we will be successful in restoring the Shiloh Diren to civilization? Eventually? Yes. Short term? Depends on condition. These people are vigorous compared to most, but that doesn't necessarily make repatriation easier." "Hey!" she exclaimed in a startled voice. "There's one hiding in the underbrush! Quick! Tase him!"